1. Introduction. My name is Amelia. I am 26 years old. I am married to a wonderful man named Dean. He is kind, gentle, and strong. To many people, we look like the perfect couple. We often laugh together. We share our dreams for the future. Dean loves me very much with all his heart. He tells me this often. Our life together seems very happy from the outside. We have a good home and good friends. Everyone thinks we have a perfect life, full of joy and no problems. But inside me, there is a big secret. This secret is like a dark shadow. I have carried this secret with me for many years. It is a very heavy burden. When I was 19 years old, something important happened. I had a baby daughter. My family told me I could not keep her. They made me give her up. I had to leave my baby at a special home for children called an orphanage. My family felt ashamed about the baby. They said it was not good. They told me it was the only way. I cried for many nights. My heart felt broken and very sad, but I had to obey them. I did what they told me to do, even though it hurt me deeply. Since that sad day, my heart has never felt complete or whole. It feels like a piece is missing from me. This secret is a very heavy weight for me to carry. It is a constant weight on my heart every day, every hour. Dean, my husband, does not know about this. I have never told him the truth. I am very afraid to tell him. I am afraid that if he learns my secret, I will lose him forever. I do not want to lose Dean. He is a loving and wonderful husband. He believes our life together is perfect and honest. He does not know about the sadness and the hidden pain I carry inside. This secret makes me feel guilty every single day. I wish I could tell him everything and be truly honest, but the fear is too strong. It stops me from speaking. This secret has become a big part of my life. It is always with me, in my thoughts and in my quiet moments. It is a part of who I am, but it is a part I must hide very carefully from everyone, especially from Dean. Only my family and I know this deep truth. I live with this big secret every day, and it makes my heart feel very heavy and sad. 2. A fake life. Every morning I wake up next to Dean. He always smiles at me. His eyes are kind and full of love. He says, "Good morning, my love." I smile back at him, but my smile does not reach my eyes. This part of my life feels like a performance. I am acting every single day. I have to pretend to be happy and free of worries. It takes much energy to keep this act going. We eat breakfast together in our small kitchen. Dean talks about his job and his plans for the day. He often says sweet words to me. "Amelia, you are my world," he tells me, or "you make my life better." These words are kind. They make my heart feel warm for a moment. But then a deep ache comes. I feel a heavy guilt because I am not honest with him. I am hiding a very big secret from the man I married. My love for Dean is real and strong. He is a wonderful husband. He makes me feel safe and cared for, but my love for my daughter is also real. She is the baby I left a long time ago. I do not know her name. I do not know what she looks like now. I do not know where she lives. My mind often pictures her face, but it is a face I cannot truly see. She is somewhere out there in the world. She is growing up without me, her birth mother. This thought makes my heart heavy. I live with a constant fear. What if Dean finds out the truth about my past? What if he learns that I had a baby when I was 19 and gave her away? I am terribly scared that he will leave me. I do not want to lose him. Our life together is precious to me. This fear is always with me, every hour of every day. It is a heavy weight on my heart, making it hard to breathe sometimes. I worry that one small mistake could uncover everything. At night, when Dean is asleep beside me, I lie awake. I look into the dark room. I think about my lost daughter. I make a quiet, secret promise to her. I whisper the words, "I will find you one day. I promise, my dear child." I hope that somehow, somewhere, she can feel my love. Even if she does not know me, I want her to know she is loved. This promise gives me a little hope. It helps me to keep going through my fake life. Every day is a struggle between what is real inside me and what I pretend to be on the outside. I wish I could be truly honest. I wish I could share my heavy secret with Dean. But I am still too afraid to break his trust. The thought of his disappointment keeps the words locked inside. 3. A letter. One afternoon, Amelia went to her parents' house. She wanted to help them clean. There were many old boxes in the attic. They held old clothes, forgotten books, and toys from long ago. Amelia began to look through one dusty box. It was full of old papers and letters. She saw a small, yellowed envelope at the bottom. It felt very old and light in her hands. Amelia's heart beat faster in her chest. She opened the envelope slowly, her fingers trembling a little. Inside, there was a single piece of paper. It was from the orphanage. The paper had a date. It was the exact date of her daughter's birth. Below the date, there was a short, handwritten note. It said that her daughter was adopted by another family. A big wave of relief washed over Amelia. Her hands shook as she read the words again and again. Her little girl was not in the orphanage anymore. She had a new family. She was safe, and she was loved. This news filled Amelia with a strange mix of joy and deep sadness. Tears started to roll down her cheeks, warm and fast. They were happy tears for her daughter's safety, but also tears for the years she had lost and could not get back. Amelia felt a very strong wish to tell Dean. He was her kind husband. He shared everything with her, good and bad. She wanted to tell him about the letter, about her daughter. She wanted to share this big, life-changing news with him right away. But then, a cold, heavy fear stopped her. What would Dean think? Would he be angry that she had kept such a big secret for so many years? Would he think she was a bad person for hiding it? She loved him deeply, more than anything. The idea of losing him, of him walking away, was truly terrible. She could not imagine her life without Dean by her side. She thought about his kind face, his warm smile, and his loving eyes. But she also thought about the possible disappointment in those eyes, or even anger. The fear was too strong to ignore. It was a heavy feeling that pressed down on her chest. She could not tell him, not yet. She folded the old letter very carefully. She pushed it deep inside her handbag, making sure no one would find it there. It was a new secret, added to the old one. Amelia decided to keep the new information to herself for now. It was another secret, but this one felt different. It brought a bright spark of hope, but also a new, heavy worry. She walked out of her parents' house, the letter hidden away. The world outside looked the same, with cars driving and birds singing. But for Amelia, everything had changed. She knew her daughter was safe and with a family. This knowledge was a new burden, a new hope, and a new fear, all wrapped together. She still had to pretend that everything was normal, but inside her world had shifted. The sadness inside. After finding the letter, Amelia felt the secret grow much heavier. It was like a big stone in her heart. Before, the secret was painful, but now it felt impossible to carry alone. She knew her daughter was safe, adopted by a family, and this new knowledge made her want to share the truth even more. But the fear was still strong, holding her back. She thought about Dean, her kind husband. How could she tell him? What would he say? Her mind was full of these questions every day. One evening, Dean looked at Amelia carefully. He saw her quiet eyes and the sadness on her face. "Amelia, are you okay?" he asked softly. "You look sad." Amelia tried to smile. She tried to make her voice sound normal. "I'm fine," she said, but she was not fine. Inside, a storm was growing. She wanted to tell him everything, to let the words out, but they stayed stuck in her throat like a big lump. A distance began to grow between Amelia and Dean. It was not a physical distance, but an emotional one. Dean felt her silence. He often tried to hold her hand or put his arm around her, but Amelia would pull away, almost without thinking. She loved his touch, she wanted his comfort, but the secret made her feel unworthy. She felt trapped in her own mind, trapped by the lie she was living. She was alone with her thoughts and her big secret. Dean noticed these changes. He saw that Amelia was not herself. He asked her again and again if something was wrong, but she always said, "No, I'm just tired." This made the distance grow even more. Amelia felt guilty for lying to him, but she felt too scared to tell the truth. She knew Dean deserved honesty. He deserved to know everything about her life. But she felt weak, unable to speak. Every day, the weight of the secret pressed down on her more. Every night, Amelia closed her eyes, and her dreams were filled with a face. It was the face of a little girl, a daughter she could not truly picture. She saw a smile, bright eyes, and dark hair, but the details were always blurry. She longed to see her daughter, to know her, but the secret kept them apart. The sadness inside Amelia grew deeper and deeper, like a quiet river flowing through her heart. She wondered how much longer she could keep this heavy burden to herself. 5, telling the secret. Weeks passed, and the weight of Amelia's secret grew heavier with each day. The emotional pressure became too much for her to handle. She felt like a glass that was full to the top, ready to spill over. Every smile she gave Dean felt fake. Every kind word he spoke to her made her guilt grow. She could not sleep well. Her dreams were full of shadows and unspoken words. She knew she could not live like this any longer. The secret was slowly breaking her from the inside, piece by piece. One afternoon, the silence of their home felt like a scream in her ears. Amelia sat alone at the kitchen table. In her trembling hands, she held the old, folded letter from the orphanage. The paper felt thin, but its message was heavy. Tears began to fall, one by one, landing on the yellowed page. She was not just sad, she felt completely broken and lost. Her heart ached with years of hidden pain. Suddenly, Dean walked into the kitchen. He saw Amelia immediately. He saw her tears, her shaking hands, and the letter. His face changed from calm to worried. He walked closer, slowly, carefully, as if not to scare her. He kneeled beside her chair. He touched her shoulder gently. His touch was warm, but Amelia felt cold with fear. "Amelia," he said, his voice soft and full of care. "Please, my love, tell me what is wrong. You do not have to hide from me. Whatever it is, we can face it together." His kind words were like a key, unlocking a door inside Amelia that had been shut for many years. The dam inside her broke. She had held this secret for so long, and now, in Dean's gentle presence, it was simply too heavy to carry alone. Her heart beat very fast, like a trapped bird. Her hands shook so much she almost dropped the letter. She took a deep, shaky breath. Her voice was a small, trembling whisper, barely audible. "Dean," she began, looking down at the letter in her hands, unable to meet his eyes. "I have a secret, a very big secret. I have kept it from you since we met." She paused, gathering all her courage. "When I was 19 years old," she continued, her voice a little stronger but still shaking, "I had a baby girl. My family, they made me give her away. They said it was shameful. They forced me to leave her at an orphanage. I never saw her again after that day." She looked up at him quickly, then down again. "I have been hiding this from you for all these years, Dean. Every single day, every single year of our life together." The kitchen became completely silent. Dean did not speak a word. His eyes, usually so warm, grew wide with shock. He looked at Amelia, then at the letter, then back at her face. Amelia watched his expression, trying to understand what he was thinking. She could not read his thoughts. Her chest burned with a terrible fear. This was it, the moment she had always been terrified of. Would he be angry? Would he feel betrayed? Would he get up and walk away from her forever? She thought about their happy life, their comfortable home, their strong love. Was it all over now because of her hidden past? After a long, silent moment, Dean finally spoke. His voice was a quiet whisper, almost lost in the room. "Why?" he asked. "Why did you not tell me before, Amelia?" Amelia looked at him, tears still flowing. She wanted to explain everything, to beg for his understanding and forgiveness. But the words were stuck in her throat. Her biggest fear was now real and standing right in front of her. She waited, terrified, for his next words, for the final end of their marriage, of their perfect life. 6. His kind answer. After my confession, I could not stop crying. My voice was small and broken. "I was so scared, Dean," I said. "I was afraid you would be angry. I was afraid you would leave me. My family made me feel so much shame. I thought if you knew, you would not love me anymore." My heart beat fast, waiting for his anger, waiting for the end of everything. I could not look at him. I just kept my head down, tears falling onto my hands. It felt like a heavy stone was in my stomach. The secret had been a part of me for so long, like a dark cloud. Now it was out, and I felt bare. But Dean did not shout. He did not look angry. Instead, he gently put his fingers under my chin. He lifted my head so I had to look into his eyes. His eyes were not full of anger. They were full of sadness, yes, but also a deep, deep love. He wiped a tear from my cheek with his thumb. His touch was soft and warm. He looked at me for a long moment, and I saw his own pain, but also understanding. This was not the reaction I expected. It was better. It was kinder than I had hoped for. He spoke, and his voice was calm. "Amelia," he said, "I married you because I love you, all of you. Your past does not change my love. It does not change who you are to me." He held my hands tightly. "You should not have carried this alone, my love. This was a very heavy secret." It was a big burden for one person to carry for so many years. He looked sad that I had suffered in silence. "I wish you had told me sooner. We could have faced this together. That is what marriage is for, Amelia. To share everything, the good and the bad." His words made me feel a little lighter already. The weight on my shoulders started to lift, just a little. I could not speak, but I fell into his arms. I put my head on his chest. He held me very tight. I cried and cried, but these were different tears. These were tears of relief. The fear was slowly going away. The shame was not so strong now. His arms around me felt like the safest place in the world. I felt his heartbeat, strong and steady. It was a comfort I had needed for 7 years. For the first time in a very long time, I felt like I could breathe properly. The air in the room felt lighter. My body felt lighter. Then, Dean pulled back a little, just enough to look into my eyes again. He kissed my forehead softly. He looked at me with a hopeful smile. And then he said the words that changed everything. The words that truly brought light into my dark world. "Let's find her," he said. "Let's find your daughter, Amelia. We will find her together." My heart jumped. It was a promise, a new beginning. I looked at him, truly seeing him, truly loving him more than ever. He was not just my husband, he was my partner in everything. 7. The search for her? Amelia and Dean started their search. Amelia felt both hope and fear. Dean was always by her side, giving her strength. They first called the orphanage. It was not easy to get information. At first, the orphanage staff refused to help them. Amelia felt sad, thinking they might fail. But Dean did not give up. He spoke kindly to the staff. He explained Amelia's story many times. He told them how important it was for Amelia to find her daughter. He was very patient. He called them again and again for several days. Each time, Amelia waited with a nervous heart. Finally, after much effort from Dean, the orphanage gave them a clue. It was not a lot of information, but it was a good start. They learned that Amelia's daughter was adopted by a family. This family lived in another city. The city was not far from where Amelia and Dean lived. This news made Amelia feel a strong sense of hope. They soon planned to travel to that city. Amelia packed a small bag. Her hands shook a little. Dean held her close and said, "We are doing this as a team." During the car ride, Amelia looked out the window. She thought about her daughter. She wondered what she looked like. Dean talked to her gently, keeping her calm. He played quiet music. When they arrived in the city, they found the street. Then they found the right house. It was a small, neat house. Amelia's heart started to beat very fast. She felt a sudden wave of fear. Her hands became cold. This was the moment. What if her daughter did not want to meet her? What if the adoptive family was upset? Dean noticed her fear. He took her hand gently. His hand was warm and strong. He squeezed it. "You are not alone, Amelia," he whispered. "We are together. Whatever happens, we will face it." His words helped her feel a little braver. She took a deep breath. She looked at the house door. Together, they walked to the door. Amelia felt every step. She looked at Dean, and he smiled a small, kind smile. He lifted his hand to knock. Amelia put her hand on his. Then they knocked on the door together. The sound was clear in the quiet street. They waited for someone to open it. 8. A new beginning. The door opened slowly. A kind woman stood there and smiled at them. Behind her, Amelia saw a young girl. The girl had long, dark hair and bright, curious eyes. She looked about 7 years old. Amelia's heart knew immediately. This was her daughter. Tears filled Amelia's eyes. She felt a strong mix of joy and sadness. She knelt down gently and softly said, "Hello." The kind woman invited Amelia and Dean inside. They sat down in the living room. Amelia began to explain her story. She spoke about being 19 and having to leave her baby. She spoke about the secret she kept for many years. Dean sat next to her, holding her hand for support. The adoptive mother listened carefully. She showed great understanding. She told Amelia that the girl was happy in their family. She said the girl often asked about her birth mother. This made Amelia feel less afraid. Amelia explained that she did not want to take the girl away. She only wanted to know her daughter. She wanted to build a new connection. She wanted to be a part of her life, even if it was from a distance. Dean looked at Amelia with pride. He knew how brave she was. He had helped her find this moment. The conversation was long, but it was important. They talked about how to move forward slowly. They agreed that the girl needed time. That evening, Amelia and Dean walked home. The sun was setting, and the sky was orange and pink. Amelia felt a deep sense of peace. Her dark secret was finally gone. It was no longer a heavy weight on her heart. The truth had brought light. Love was truly stronger than any fear she had felt before. She had a chance now, a chance to know her daughter, a chance to be a mother in a new way. Dean was by her side. He was the man who loved her completely with all her past. This was not an end to a story, but a wonderful new beginning for everyone.